So I have a tree here, and in this tree we have a tree group. In this group we have branch, leaf and trunk. So 3 pieces of geometry we have in the scene. And now this is a poly geometry we have, and if I see the leaf, this leaf is a plane, simple plane. So I'm going to use alpha in it. But if you want to have a forward scene, so you have to have a lots of trees, but you cannot do that thing by this kind of mesh count. So what I have to do, I have to use stand-in, and then you can recall this tree in that stand-in. So to export this thing in stand-in, you have to select this tree group, and here we have the button in Arnold tab. Now here you can see this is a ASS export.as format, and type here tree and export the selection. So now I can hide this into a layer. So this is gonna be tree layer. Now this underscore is very important. Without underscore you cannot edit or rename your layer. Save this and you can hide it by this. This is a proper way to hide your object. Otherwise, if I press H key, if I go to display, show all, so now it is showing up, but I don't want that. So this is a very easy fix, that if I switch this off, so if I go show all, so it is not showing at all. So this is a way you have to hide your geometry in Maya. Now this is the button we have here to import the stand-in. You can see that we have this stand-in, and this stand-in is exactly in the middle of the grid we have here. And if I go to attribute editor and path means your stand-in, so go to your tree that I have saved it right now and load it. Now you can see that this box is now big and the pivot point is exactly where it should be. Our group has pivot point into 00 space. So if I take this sky dome and go to in this viewport and make the radius 0, so this is how we don't have any gizmo in our viewport. So I can render this, I can see that the tree is there, and we have these 3 things: your branches, your leaves, your trunk, everything is there, and it is rendering with a default shader. So now you can see here AI standard, AI stand-in we have, this is one node we have, and everything is there into that stand-in. So if I go to your stand-in files, and this is a file contains, so import these files here. You can see we have a list of nodes here, but in this case I'm going to take this only poly mesh. So though we don't have any kind of mesh in here, every mesh is inside the stand-in in poly mesh option. Now here we have leaf shape. Double click on this so you can copy the name, and now you have to apply the shader in it, because of we don't have any shader here. But how to apply the shader, because of this is a single node. Right click, assign new material. This is not gonna work because of it will apply everything in every nodes we have in the polymesh. So this is the way that you have this operator. In this case, I'm going to add operator, and in this case I have to take create AI merge. Once you have this operator, go inside of it. So this is the inside, and you can see in AI merge we have inputs, add input, and here we have AI set parameter. Here is a selection. So copy the tab. So this is how you can make it properly. So select it and copy the tab. So minimize this so that I can see focus on this area. Now we have this leaf, so that is why I have copied it earlier, and you have to put it here in your AI set parameters. So this is a selection. So this is how you can select each and every object from your stand-in by the set parameter operator. So if I paste it, it is not going to work. So you have to use a star before and after. Star you have to use to select it properly. Now selection is done. Now we have this assignments. Add a new item for assignments, and we have alien language. So I have to type a human language here. What I have to type? SHATER space equal space apostrophe LEAF underscore MLT apostrophe. So apostrophe you have to put, but this leaf MLT you can change by your choice. So, but I have to copy this and go to the shader. The shader is, there is no shader in this hypershade. So go to Arnold and you have the shader, AI standard shader, and paste that name here. And these two things should be matched identically. Otherwise, this assignment won't work at all. So now if I go to change this thing into red, and if I see the render now, I should see red leaf, and there it is. So now I have to apply another thing that is very extremely important in this case. So if I zoom this, and which is, so go to 3D manipulation, and I can put it here. So this is the leaf I have here. So in this leaf we have a card, only a single plane kind of thing, right? So I need to apply a texture in it. So texturing is a normal thing that you have this MLT, leaf MLT. You have to go to File, Quadratic Off, and go to Textures, and go to Leaf Albedo Map. Open. Now if I do the render now, so we have leaf applied in our card or plane, but I need to cut this leaf. So how to cut this leaf? There's a simple traditional technique, that is opacity. Opacity is into your geometry, and this is opacity. Click on this and go to File and go to Quadratic Off, and you have to take this opacity. This is a JPG normal file. Black is going to be transparent. Open. In this case I'm going to make this raw, and alpha is luminance is on. So now our opacity map is there, But if I take the render, now this is not happening because of we have to switch off opaque. So if I go to have a sphere, and I can go for the shape node here, and in Arnold tab you have this opaque option. So this is how we do this traditionally, but this is not a geometry. And if I see, there is no copy tab, there is no Arnold option. So you have this stand-in override, and we have this opaque, but this opaque is for everything. Like each and everything should be opaque off and on. This is the thing. So this thing won't work in this case because of I need to specify only this leaf shape should be opaque off, the rest of them should be opaque on. So how do I do this? The same technique and very easy fix. That is the merge AI node, and we have this leaf, and here take another item. Now we have this alien language again. Now here you have to type OPAQUE space equals this FALSE, and this F has to be in capital, and this opaque should be in small. So now if I go to and render this again, now we should see that we have a cutout, proper cutout. So this is how you can specify a particular attribute for each and every mesh you have inside in stand-in. So you can hide it, you can use cat clerk for each and every node you have inside stand-in. And now I need to go to AI merge and add a new one, set parameter. This is going to be for leaf. This is a leaf. This is for like trunk. So I can go for this. This is the here. Add new item, and we have same thing. So SHADER space equals space apostrophe. In this case, TRUNK and MLT and this quote. So I have told you earlier that this one you can copy or you can change it according to your shader. So erase this thing here, go to shader, AI standard shader, and paste it here. So this name should be matched. So here we can go to file and quadratic, make it off, and here we have this trunk albedo map open. So we have this, and in this case I'm not going to make super complex material network. This is a very simple texture. You can do that, there is no problem with this thing. The technique I'm showing you how you are going to use operators. And if I go and render this out, and now you can see that we don't have any kind of textures because this is a branch. So if I go here, and now you can see this, so still we are getting white. Why? Because of, we can see we have some problem because of selection I have not done. So this is a very nice thing that if you do any mistake, so you're not a god that you are not going to make any mistake. So if you make any mistakes, so then this warning will tell you that what is that mistake, because of selection I have not done. So if you do not do any kind of selection, then how can it find? So go to stand-in, copy the tab here, and go to click on this stand-in, copy, input, and we have, what is stand-in? Stand-in is here, copy, and here we have this trunk shape, copy this, and paste it with star before and after. And now if I render this out, now I can see this trunk has a texture in it. So this is how you can put textures, shaders inside stand-in by using operators. Now I will quickly do the branch I have here. So first of all, copy this one, and we have to go to this branch shape, copy, close, and go to this merge and add input and AI set parameter and star, paste star, assignments, and in this case shader, and we have this quote and this branch underscore MLT quote. Go to material, first of all copy this name and go to material, shader, and AS standard surface, and go paste it, and go to color, file, and in this case we have this branch albedo of quadratic. So now save this file and switch to this sample that I can see this swatch and render. So you have the thing, so you can see the, if I go to and 3D manipulation, so I can move this. So why is there like this? So render, I can move this. Okay, so you can see if I zoom this, now we have a proper leaf, but the leaf is looking not correct. So we need to have some subsurface scatter in it. So stop this one and go to this little bit of shading work I have to do. So go to this trunk. In this case, I'm going to make it 1 and go to specular 0.5. The color is gonna be like, you can take as per your decision is concerned, but in this case 90. So in this case 90, 90, 90. So this is all 90, 90, 90. You can use anything you want, like a gray color. So I have found that this is cool. And always you have to use this color into your display space. I will make a tutorial on that. Why display space? Why not rendering space? So now we have this one, 0.5. Everything is cool. In this leaf you have, okay, maybe 0.3. And you have branches. We have, obviously you can see the branches have to have more roughness in it, and same, you know, color I need. Subsurface is there for your leaf, and just make the weight up, and we have this leaf, drag and drop here and drag and drop there. So this is how you can use this leaf texture in it and use this random walk for this kind of effect. So if I go and render this out, and you see that we're having a much more nicer result and translucency we are having in our render. So this is how we can, of course it's not like super realistic render, So somewhat this is okay if it is very far away from your camera. So now you can see that very easily I have this very far. So now this is what I can do. I can go here and go to shape, make it point cloud to see this, this thing, this representation. So these are points, nothing is there, and it's very super fast, not a poly anymore. But I can see to frame these things. If it is a box, it is a very problematic matter to see these things. So all right. So now go to okay. This takes time and fatal error. Now I have got this from my autosave, and let me save this into where it should be. So and take a render and go for this render. We have a very nice looking tree with proper shader applied in it and texture applied in it in every pieces, every meshes we have inside the standard by using the operator. So this is the technique that you should take for lighting any scene by using this standing and operator workflow. And another thing, that operator can be accessed by Arnold renderer tab. You have this operator, same thing. If I click on this, it will be the same thing here. And we can scatter these trees in any geometry to get a forest now.